So you want to swing a hammer at someone, but you only have some wood and spray paint?
Well, we're going to teach you how to make something out of that today on Making on a Budget. Last year, we released a horror comedy short film called Back to Killing, a sequel to, well, Back to Killing. It features a bloodthirsty demon who vlogs his way through mass murder and his weapon of choice, a very sharp-looking sledgehammer.
Except it's not a sledgehammer at all. It's a dowel with a block of wood on the end. We spent the day carving out the block to look like a hammerhead, and then we spray painted it all. And it turned out really well, though it is covered in tape and scissors.
Yeah, well, what can you do? What we're gonna do today is give you some idea or inspiration to make your own props out of free or dollar store items. And we'll make a couple of our own. We're gonna start with a $20 budget and go buy some things to make some cool props with.
But first things first, where the heck do you find wood? Well, I'm right here. Almost any store that gets deliveries through a garage door will have pallets in the back. They can be taken apart and glued together into all kinds of shapes. You just need wood glue and something to press them together, like clamps or weights. A single board that's half an inch thick, 4 inches wide, and 4 feet long can be sawed down and glued into a block 4 by 4 by 4 inches. If there are 4 to 6 of those on each pallet, you've got some options.
Wood isn't the only versatile material that's easy to work with. Foam is too. It's easy to cut, easy to glue, and easy to paint. There are many kinds of foam, and many of them are usually just packing material, like styrofoam or this spongy foam that Ryan got from a restaurant he used to work at and occasionally goes back to.
It's packing material from ice cream waffle cone boxes, and they're incredibly useful. I've cut them in half and used them as acoustic insulation for sound recording and other various uses. Today, hopefully, we're going to be making a convincing looking rock out of it. Also, shout out to the Roadhouse, best ice cream selection. A lot of poutines.
Poutines are excellent. If you need breakaway glass, like bottles or small panes, you can make stunt glass by cooking sugar, corn syrup, and acid like cream of tartar, and it comes out looking pretty convincing. There are a ton of tutorials online, so we won't cover that right now.
But what we will cover is today's sponsor, MacWoodProductions.com/merch for all of your Macwood merch needs. They have everything from hoodies to hats to other kinds of hoodies, and phone cases and mouse pads inspired by their horror comedy short film, All You Have to Do Is Stream. Go check the link in the description and check them out.
Do you have any idea how pretentious it is to plug your own video and talk about it in the third person?
Clever though, right?
So we've covered wood and foam. What else can we make props out of, Ryan?
You can cast your own body parts, like your hands or your face, and use them for gruesome effects, like blowing them up or cutting them off. You just need clay and 2-part epoxy or silicone or resin. You won't find those at the dollar store though. Stuff like that gets pricey. But from there you have a mold to make prosthetics and you can reuse it as long as you're careful with it.
If you need a specific prop, you can probably find the parts you need to make it at your local dollar store. They have felt, fabric, foam, paint, needles, wood, plastics, tape, the list goes on and on and on. And so could I. It'll take time, but it's a skill that'll save you a lot of money if you're just starting out. Don't blow all of your money on props if you don't have to.
Absolutely. All right. Let's make a foam rock. And whatever else we can find from the dollar store. I want to make a cool paper mache mask.
Cool. It's really great, Ryan. Good for you.
All right, let's go to the dollar store.
Okay. So we got a bunch of different materials from the dollar store and the local Sally Ann. So Ryan, what do we have here?
We've got some paint, we've got a wooden box, we've got some cheap guns, some cables, some, I don't know, gold ribbon crimp cord ends, some wire, and some paintbrushes. We're gonna take this gun, it's a cap gun, doesn't have any caps in it, and we're gonna paint it to look real.
We're gonna work on this communicator, and we're also gonna make some paper mache masks.
And a rock out of this foam.
Did you take that out of your pocket?
I did.
So yeah, that is what we're doing right now. So let's jump into it.
Alright, so this is everything we ended up with.
So this is the first thing that we'll talk about. This is a paper mache mask of my dumb, ugly face.
And look at that. Very creepy indeed. Oh, don't look at me. Don't look at me.
So that's that.
We used flour and water, which is the cheaper method, but if you were to use white glue and water, it dries much faster and I'd say a little bit harder. Here we have a makeshift kind of futuristic communicatory device. It's made out of an old Motorola car charger thingy, and yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, you strip the center out.
Yeah, I tore apart all of the electronic components in it. This wire used to be fed through this spot in the back, but now I've got it feeding out the bottom, so you can hook it up to your belt or whatever, and blah, 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 blah. Look at me, I'm Captain Kirk from Star Trek. I think it looks pretty good for being, you know, a couple cents worth of parts.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I find it with props, especially if you're able to take something that's already existing and manipulate it in some sort of way, it works really well, and it's very, very cheap. Speaking of very cheap,
this gun.
Yeah, it was like $3. I think it was black originally with an orange tip.
It was, and now it's metal. I just did the silver coat on it, and I rubbed some of it off with a piece of paper towel.
But as you can tell, this is obviously a vast improvement over what we had. Looks pretty good on camera.
Indeed.
And obviously it doesn't have the orange tip anymore, which gives it away.
And I gave it a little brown handle. So it used to be all black, now it's silver, and it's got the wooden handle. And finally, the foam rock. We started with a sheet of foam like this, cut it up, glued it together, cut it up some more to get the rough shape, and then painted it. And you know what? I think it turned out really well.
Yeah, it looks great. Let me just test it out really quickly.
Wow, that sure felt like foam.
Oh.
Foamy. Like a good beer.
I just hit Ryan in the face!
But it's foam.
Let me try one more time. Actually, gonna be so... Oh no!
Well, I think this was a pretty successful haul.
I definitely agree. Let's do the outro then.
All right, be sure to like the video if you found it helpful and subscribe if you want to see more. Let us know in the comments if there's anything else you'd like to see from the series too.
If you want to show us some love and support, check out our sponsor, or you can check out our Buy Me a Coffee page. Any amount is appreciated. Links are in the description.
Thank you so much for watching, and stay based.
Based on what?
Indeed.
So you good with that?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Awesome!
All right.